Hey family, I don't know about you, but have you ever been in a long distance relationship? I know I have. We're going to give you 10 keys to how to handle a long distance relationship.
You were in a long distance relationship by yourself?
No.
We were in a long distance relationship.
I was giving my opinion. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
Hi, I'm Charmaine.
I'm Jomo.
And we come to you with real, raw, and relevant content as far as relationships. We want to build a community of people that want to build healthy relationships with God-centered mindsets. So, today in this video, we'll be discussing 10 best tips on making a long-distance relationship work.
Bam.
Now, this was a really good topic for us because we've actually done a long distance relationship before.
Bi-coastal
and internationally, because
True.
Jomo went to Germany for, how many months did you go to Germany?
Probably 3-4 months.
3-4 months. And then when I was in Phoenix, he lived in New York.
Yes.
You went to Vegas.
Yes.
You went to, well, I went home and I went home in St. Pete. Florida, St. Petersburg, Florida, and he was in Jacksonville.
Yeah. Then I was in Orlando.
And you were in Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
So we have definitely done the long distance relationship before, and it worked for us. They were a lot shorter than some people may be experiencing, especially if you're a military family. But there are definitely some ways that you can help navigate through a long distance relationship to make it a lot easier on both of you.
Correct.
So, tip number 1.
Set some ground rules to manage your expectations. What I've learned is oftentimes we have to make sure we have the proper expectation of what's going to happen in this long distance relationship. So we have to set ground rules for this, goals in reference to how we're going to navigate this long distance relationship, because it comes with challenges. So how are we going to overcome these challenges, which are normal?
And I think rules, expectations, rules, I think they're really healthy too, because then you don't have unmet needs.
Correct. No confusion
in your relationship.
Correct.
No confusion in your relationship. You know what the other person is expecting, you know what their needs are, and you've written them down, you made them plain, you've come into agreement. It's a good thing.
All right, number 2, try to communicate regularly and creatively.
Creatively, I love this.
Yeah.
Because you want to keep it spicy, even though you're not in front of each other and able to touch each other on a regular basis. You want to make sure you're still being creative, and that shows your spouse that you're actually putting an effort into the relationship. You didn't just get on the phone. Maybe you got on the phone with a song. Maybe you have like a mini date night planned. Or you have a game. It's a lot of things that you can do long distance to be creative and still communicate. I know for us, we came up with pet names, and we came up with made up words and stuff that we would say, and it would keep everything funny and lively on the phone, because sometimes it can get boring when you're talking to someone long distance for extended period of time. Yeah, because from day to day, it's not a lot that happens in someone's life where you can stay on the phone for an hour.
I know for us, at times, we could talk about our son at the time, who was a baby. So we found different things to talk about, but to keep it lively.
Right. Number 3, avoid dangerous situations.
What do you mean by this? If you are in a long distance relationship, going to a club may be dangerous.
Right.
Inviting people back to the house may be dangerous.
Because you're in the long distance relationship, building trust and having trust in your spouse is number 1 for making long distance relationships work. So you want to make sure, in keeping trust, that you keep a pretty good schedule. It makes someone feel secure to know where their spouse is, what they're doing, what their normal day-to-day schedule is. Like, oh, I know she's at work right now. I know she's commuting right now.
Correct.
Or I know she's at home right now because it's 6. So when you get off a schedule, you get off course, you're doing something a little bit different, it makes a person feel secure about the relationship. When you give them a call and let them know, hey, I'm breaking schedule. Today, I'm going to be going to work, and right after, I'm meeting some girlfriends for dinner. So we'll be at dinner when I'm normally getting home.
Yeah, because
we've
seen that before, whereas a person is in a long distance relationship, and then the partner shows up unannounced to surprise them, and they were not where they said they would be.
Yes.
And that became a complicated situation.
Or
so,
they're with somebody that they weren't supposed to be with.
Yeah. So you have to really be regimented in this, because see, now if I can't see you every day, I have to have different things to help keep the trust. Now we want to trust people, but we know people could be people. All right, number 4, do things together.
I love this because we used to watch movies together. We would listen to music together.
Correct.
Sometimes you could even eat together. So, I mean, it's some things that you can do together even though you're long distance and you're not face to face.
Exactly.
To keep it creative and spicy.
Number 5, you got to visit.
Yes.
Listen, I don't know how often, but there was a time where I come home every week.
Yeah.
And it may be home, I may be home for 48 hours, 24 hours. But we found a way to where we can connect on a consistent, regular basis. Now, I understand some can't make that move. Some are in the military, you can't go visit.
Right.
But you have to find some strategic ways to where, listen, you know, when can we see each other? Because then we have some expectation that, you know what, I know it's not, you know, a year, maybe 3 months or 2 months, but you set some expectation, because then that gives you some urgency to where you can be excited the next time you see them.
Right. And it gives you something to look forward to. It's always nice to have a schedule and look forward to seeing your spouse, because when you do have those moments where you get a chance to see each other one-on-one, you don't take it for granted as much. You wind up enjoying the time. This is not the time to bring up issues in the relationship. It's just time to enjoy each other. So it's very important. And conjugal visits are very important.
They're of the Lord. Number 6, stay honest. Now here's what I'm saying. If you feel tempted, or you're talking to the wrong person, or you've done something you should not do, the reality is you may think you got away with it, but truth always comes to light.
That's right.
So we want to try to be honest, meaning, you know, babe, I don't know if this long distance relationship is working.
Right.
Now, this is what we did. We made a decision that long term, a long distance relationship would not work for us.
Right.
So the goal was, if one of us, whoever made the most money, would move. Now, I understand everyone's situation.
Finance-based for us.
I understand people have different situations, but we realized that a long-term relationship for a long period of time for us would be very challenging.
Right. And being honest, it builds that foundation of trust again in your relationship, because the last thing you want to do is feel insecure about your relationship and you guys aren't living together or together in the same city.
Because there's so many potholes that you can fall into when you're not seeing each other on a regular basis.
Right.
Number 7, know each other's schedule. Yeah.
We spoke about this earlier, but it's so important to keep a schedule and for your spouse to know what you're doing, where you're at. It gives you some security and you feel less vulnerable.
What we do is we have our Google schedule calendar, and we just we can kind of know where it's, and then what we do is with our calendar we have the address and location of where we're going to be at.
And it updates in real time too. So if an appointment was canceled or whatever, I'll leave the appointment up because it was there before, so he doesn't think he was crazy by seeing it earlier, but I'll put canceled so that way he knows, okay, she's not going to be there anymore because it was canceled.
Honesty and transparency are the bedrock of trust.
Absolutely.
All right, number 8. Get a great messaging app.
Yes.
Some are doing video calls, some are doing streaming, some are doing Portal, some are doing Zoom.
There's so many different options now. There's
Teams.
No reason why you shouldn't.
There's no reason why you shouldn't see each other every day.
Absolutely.
No reason. Absolutely. And it just helps to see each other. It gives a certain peace.
Right. And I mean, again, like you could have dinner together. You could actually take your spouse somewhere. Like if you're in another country and they've never been there before, you could actually take them and let them see things that you're seeing there as well. So get creative and do something new.
Real talk.
Number 9, snail mail your gift.
Now this is kind of out of date in the world we're in, but it makes a person feel important if you can mail them something.
Right. Or have something delivered like flowers or candy to their
edible
job.
arrangements.
It lets them know you're thinking about them, that you're on their mind, you're front and center.
Correct.
And it I don't know, it's romantic just because, you know, it's unexpected and you always want to know that you're being thought of.
Lastly, number 10, video call whenever possible.
Absolutely.
Now, we're a Droid family. Now, I know some of you out there, you know, your Apple iPhones. I ain't mad at you. I got an iPad and I got a Mac. It's just my cell phone's a Droid. And my wife and I, we love to video conference and video call each other. I just, it's something different
Android
when you see someone's
has the
face.
feature, Apple has the feature, and there's so many apps. Zoom.
Correct. Teams.
Yep, Teams. Microsoft has one. Google has one. Google Meets. So there's so many different ways that you can communicate to each other in real time on video and see each other and not feel like you're lonely.
Correct.
You know, you still feel like
I
someone's
think
there.
everybody who's going to be in a long-term relationship has to really constantly think about counting the costs. Because if this person is truly the one and worth it, I believe it makes sense to get to them.
Right.
Versus prolonging it. Now, I understand there's
Prolonging long distance relationships.
Yes. Because the longer it goes, the harder it is to keep it.
Right. Now, if you're in the military, of course,
Correct.
you may not even have that
You
option.
have no control over that.
You signed up for what you signed
Your
up
tour.
for.
Correct.
Exactly. So the thing is you just want to make the best of it. And I think by using some of these 10 tips that we've given can definitely help to strengthen your relationship, secure your relationship, and give you some creative ideas in order to keep it spicy.
Tremendous.
Yeah.
Well, we thank you for watching tonight.
Thank you so much. And remember,
Love, laugh, and learn.
Make sure you leave a comment in the section and let us know if you are in a long distance relationship. And if you are, leave us some tips so all of us can see.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.